you fucking understand me.
I'm a fucking killer. Hey, chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck.
The movie kicks off with Peter, an undercover FBI agent based in New York, who has embedded himself within a dangerous Polish crime syndicate. He's been working for years to gather enough evidence to bring down its elusive leader, a man known only as the General. As the long-awaited sting operation begins, Peter tells his wife and daughter they need to leave town for a short trip. Meanwhile, Erica, his handler, prepares her team for the mission. Peter's job is to deliver 6 pounds of fentanyl to the General. That's when the team is supposed to make the arrest. Before heading out, Peter secures his family inside a warehouse, giving his wife a key and firm instructions. If he doesn't return by 1 p.m. the next day, she must flee the state. Later, in a rundown bathroom, he meets Erica. She hands him a secure phone and a wire, reminding him that if things go sideways, he should ask for a smoke, their signal to pull him out. Peter meets with Kuzik, a gang member, who introduces him to a diplomat carrying the fentanyl. They transfer the drugs into a different bag and drop the diplomat at a hotel. But things take a sharp turn when Kuzik decides not to deliver the fentanyl to the General, claiming he already has a buyer. Peter keeps quiet to protect his cover, and Erica chooses to continue surveillance. At a club, the nervous buyer reveals he can only afford half the product. Kuzik is annoyed, but Peter diffuses the tension, pressing the buyer on how he plans to gather $85,000 so quickly. When Kuzik steps away to take a call, Peter tries convincing the buyer to walk away from this dangerous path, but the buyer remains cagey, escalating the situation until Peter shoves him. That's when the buyer draws a gun and flashes a badge. He's an undercover cop. In a panic, Kuzik shoots him. Realizing the situation has spiraled, Peter uses the code phrase and asks for a smoke, but to his shock, Erica calls off the operation and drives away, leaving him stranded. With no way out, Peter helps Kuzik dispose of the body. Later, they meet the General at a sausage plant. Peter suggests someone must take responsibility for killing a cop if they want to avoid heat from the NYPD. But instead of blaming Kuzik, the General twists the story, saying Kuzik saved Peter's life and declares that Peter now owes them. To repay this debt, the General demands Peter go to prison and manage drug operations from inside for 5 years. As added pressure, he warns Peter to think about his family's safety. Feeling cornered, Peter calls Erica, but she coldly explains that rescuing him would have jeopardized the entire 4-year mission. She hangs up without remorse. Back home, Peter discovers his wife Sophia didn't leave as instructed. Tensions rise, but they soon reconcile. She helps him clean blood from his hands. Meanwhile, the NYPD uncovers the dead officer's body. Detective Grants, a close friend of the deceased, launches an investigation, which leads him straight to the Polish gang. Surveillance footage eventually links Peter to the murder. Peter meets with Erica and her superior, Montgomery. They tell him there's no way out. He must go through with the General's plan. If he refuses, he risks being exposed as a mole and charged with killing a cop. Back at home, Peter hides recordings of his conversations with Erica in a secure box. The next morning, Kuzik brings him the fentanyl he'll need to sneak into prison. Peter tells Sophia about his new assignment and spends time with their daughter while memorizing the prison layout. Soon after, the General himself shows up at their home. He tells Peter he never had children because he couldn't bear the thought of losing them, a veiled threat. Outside, Grants watches the house and notifies his partner as the General leaves. The next day, Peter stages a domestic fight, prompting Sophia to call the police. Grants watches as Peter is taken into custody. Inside the prison, a corrupt guard escorts him to his bunk, where he's surrounded by black inmates. One of them bribes the guard to keep Peter safe. During a nighttime raid, the warden pulls Peter aside, at Erica's request, and assigns him to a cleaning crew. As Peter begins blending in with the gang, he prepares for an impending brawl. Meanwhile, Grants visits Erica, demanding answers about Peter. She pretends she knows nothing, but when Montgomery joins the meeting and Grants shows them surveillance photos of Erica and Peter together, the pressure builds. Grants warns them that the NYPD and FBI are headed for a collision, and heads will roll. At home, Sophia follows Peter's instructions and uses a drone to drop contraband onto the prison roof. The next day during his cleaning shift, Peter retrieves the package. Later, Grants visits Sophia at work, urging her to talk. She refuses and tells him to stay out of it. As he leaves, he gives her his card in case she changes her mind. Grants then uses an informant to pass Peter a message. If he wants to survive, he'll need to talk about the cop's death, because one day, the gang won't be there to protect him. Meanwhile, a corrupt guard takes Peter to meet Phelps, the black gang leader controlling the drug trade inside. Phelps views Peter as a threat and tries to have him killed, but Peter, desperate to live, reveals that he's an FBI informant trying to bring down the general. Phelps is intrigued. He lets Peter live and agrees to share intel, but only as long as Peter survives. At the FBI, Montgomery orders Erica to end the mission and eliminate Peter. He warns her that if the NYPD finds out about the undercover cop's death, she'll be blamed. That night, Peter receives vital names tied to the drug network from one of Phelps's men. He contacts Erica, urging her to help him escape, but Erica, under pressure, refuses. Out of options, Peter calls Sophia and tells her to hand over the recordings to Grants and flee the state. Meanwhile, Erica visits the general's lawyer and confirms Peter's true identity. She confronts Sophia and seizes the tapes, but not before the FBI intercepts her call. Racked with guilt, Erica listens to the tapes, haunted by her broken promises. In the yard, one of Phelps's men realizes he's been exposed. He searches for a missing Shiv, but is ambushed by a Polish gang member. Peter manages to strangle the attacker and then alerts the guards. When a corrupt guard arrives, Peter takes him hostage and demands to speak with the media and his wife. Peter takes refuge in an abandoned tower, ties up the guard, and uses his sniper training to map the surroundings. At home, Kuzik threatens Peter's family. Just as Sophia finishes a call with Grants, he arrives and engages in a shootout. While climbing the stairs, Grants is shot but holds fire. Kuzik has taken a hostage. As he hesitates, he loses his weapon, but Sophia acts fast, grabs a gun, and shoots Kuzik, though she gets shot in the process. Back at the prison, snipers surround Peter's location. Montgomery arrives, ready to end it. The warden tries to negotiate, and Peter calls his wife to reassure her, but Montgomery cuts the line. Peter then uses a clever trick. He switches clothes with the unconscious guard. When the snipers open fire, they hit a CO2 tank, causing an explosion. In the chaos, Peter vanishes. Erica arrives to find the prison engulfed in flames. Montgomery declares the mission complete. Dressed as a guard, Peter is placed in an ambulance. Erica sneaks inside and gives him a note and a phone. She plans a fake hostage scenario to cover his escape. Later, on a ferry, she confronts Montgomery, revealing she knows where Peter is. It's all a setup. She's been recording him. The NYPD arrests Montgomery on the spot. As Peter prepares to reunite with his family, he spots Erica's signal. Undercover agents are everywhere. Grants appears, handing Peter a new identity and papers from Erica. Peter takes one last look at Sophia, then slips into the shadows, knowing the danger isn't over yet. End the movie. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other recaps and subscribe for more content. And leave comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
We need you to lay low for another month till it gets on with your family soon. You need to go now before they catch you.